Hey y'all, it's January the 23rd, 2019, and I'm fixing to go to work. Y'all, I don't have time to edit a video for y'all how I would like, but I do have enough time to make this video and share story with y'all. I know some of y'all really appreciate the stories, and so I got one to share with y'all. Something very important and crucial to discuss after the stories. All right, very pending, very urgent, if you will. All right. So I want to share with y'all a story, and the story is of fake news. All right, there's a lot of fast forwarding and stuff, but suffice it to say, this story begins years ago. I don't remember how many years ago. Maybe 3 or something like that. All right, you can look it up. All right, but the story begins 3 some odd years ago with some fake news. All right, there was a news article that I had come across, and I wound up making a video about it. And the thing is, the video actually wound up being pretty popular. I gotta say, the video has probably got thousands of views on it. At this point, I haven't checked up on it for a long time. It's an old video, but I saw a news article, and it was coming from out of Austin, and it was a pastor, I believe by the name of Jordan Brown. I could be mistaken, but it was a pastor, and he's one of those LGBTQAIAAP pastors. All welcoming, everything, you know what I'm saying? So he was running a church in Austin. All right, I never, ever would have heard about him, ever. It doesn't make any difference, but saw this article in which this pastor bought a cake, and he's a gay person, and he bought a cake from Whole Foods. And that cake, he wanted the words "Love Wins" on it. He ordered it and everything. He bought the cake, and he wound up figuring out that it said "Love Wins," and then it had that FAG word up under it. Right? So it said "Love Wins," FAG on the cake. Right? That's what the article was about. That somebody tricked this pastor and sold him a cake that said FAG up under it, up under "Love Wins." Now, that doesn't sound funny necessarily to some people. Here's the thing. I read the headline and I read the article, and immediately, without hesitation, I knew that it was made up, that it was a lie, that it was fake. I didn't have to ask nobody or nothing. I read it and said, this is a fake. This never happened. Right? And then I made a video about it in which I called out Jordan Brown, and I said, this is a fake. It's obvious that you're lying, and you're a dirty, disgusting liar. Like I said, the video actually got real popular, and it started getting hundreds of views. At least a couple thousand. It's probably in the thousands now. It got a lot of views and a lot of attention. A lot of people got at me and said, oh, yeah, I can't believe you said this. Oh, I can't believe it. You're such a this and that, or whatever. And then it turns out, it was only a couple days later that it turns out that I was 100% right. And that never happened. And there's no way it would ever happen at Whole Foods, of all places. So it never happened. Actually, the pastor is a dirty, stinking liar. And he wrote FAG on his own cake. All right. And it wasn't hard to tell that he did it. All right. You look at cakes before you buy them, by the way. Especially if they have words on it. It was so easy to figure out, but so many people didn't know. All right, so fast forward, and there's plenty of instances, but fast forward to current days. Maybe a few weeks ago. Some of y'all might remember, some of y'all might have already forgotten. I don't blame you. There was a little girl, I think 7 years old. She was shot in Houston. A little girl, and this was early in the morning in Houston. So I read the headline, I read a little bit in the article, I know immediately that's a lie. Nobody has to tell me, and I don't have to ask. I know it's a lie. I remember hearing about it and being like, that's absolutely a lie. Did not hesitate. I didn't think one other thing. Said, this is a lie. All right? Just because I know, like, dude, I live in Texas. I've been to Houston. The chances of that happening are slim to nil, period. It's outlandish, right? When you consider all the violence in Houston, the chances of that violence happening in the morning in Houston is just damn near impossible. So immediately I looked at it and knew it was fake. Knew that people were lying. And then guess what? A few days later, oh, it turns out everybody's lying. Am I a genius? Not at all. No, not at all. It's just that I could see things for what they are. Alright? So, fast forward a couple more weeks. You got this Indian fella, and I made a video about it. I'll have y'all know, for those who saw my video about the Indian fellow, that I got that on a whim. I didn't know very much about that situation before I started talking about it on the internet, which I called out this old Indian man for being a punk, a little girl, and he was crying on the television and all this, carrying on, and I called him out for it. All right, a lot of people probably wouldn't even have understood that, but I knew he was a punk. I knew he was lying. I knew he was doing this and that and carrying on. All right. Fast forward a few days later, and you start to get the whole picture. Right? Not only was everybody lying, but in fact, all sort of calamity was taking place at that particular instance in Washington, D.C., in which all sort of people got yelled at, all sort of people got cursed at, all sort of people got ridiculed. By who? Not young Catholic school students, no. They were cursed at and yelled at and threatened all over the place by a group called the Black Israelites, which is, I've known about the Black Israelites for years and years. Alright, they're all over the place, they never go away, it's stupid and disgusting, and it's just what they do all day. Alright, that's how they dress, everything, it looks... Alright, so they're the ones threatening everybody, to include the Indian folks, calling them Uncle Tomahawks and everything else. Like, dude, they're really sick, disgusting people. Now, the news, so-called news, the reporters and everything, they could have put that on blast, and that would have been a huge story, and it would have really been legitimate. Alright. Instead, those particular reporters and all that, they totally fabricated everything. All right. And everybody across the country, all these other so-called reporters, they get paid money to be frauds. They just simply repeated the unbelievable lie without hesitation. All right. Meanwhile, it didn't take more than a couple of days for everyone to figure out how disgusting the situation is. I just made a video about where they threw this little boy under the bus. See, here's the thing. They'll point at you and say, you're accusing children, you're threatening children with your free speech. Don't say anything about anything ever because people at Parkland might get upset. People at this might get upset. Meanwhile, the media is literally, quite obviously, ruining the lives of everybody, to include children, in front of us, on a whim, in our faces. And that's what we're dealing with. Alright? There's no getting around that. I just wanted to bring that up. Lastly, to finish off this little conversation, shout out to the man, and he just keeps doing it. He's on point all the time, and I had to acknowledge that. Anaconda Malt Liquor. He said it again because a lot of people, I mean, a lot of people came out of the woodwork and have been trying to tell me the Parkland shooting was all fake, nobody got injured, to include Anaconda Malt Liquor. Here's the thing, I'm not telling you you're wrong. I can't tell you you're wrong because I don't know if you are wrong. Alright? I wouldn't dream of it, but at the same time, Anaconda Malt Liquor emphasized that the real important point, something that nobody should lose sight of, is it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if all those people got shot at Parkland or nobody got shot. What matters, and I know that seems counterintuitive, but what matters is that people are freaking lying to our faces, whether or not it's purposeful or not, does not make a difference. They're lying and they're menaces to society. They're trying to take out you and I and whoever dares to speak out against their abominations. They're waging full scale war. They can't stop, won't stop. This is what they live for, the destruction of us. All right? Period. And there is no debating that particular point. All right? What happened at Parkland, this and that is yet to be seen. I gotta let y'all know. But we all know we've been lied to. We all know that these people are bloodthirsty out here. All right, so what are we going to do about it? It's January the 24th of 2019. I appreciate all y'all. I'll holler at y'all.